Yo, right, I don't know what's going on with this camera. I've just recorded a whole 22-minute video and it just didn't work. So here we are again. Right, I'll try and make this one shorter. This video is about the truths and the realities, the harsh realities of starting your own business, what it takes, what it's like, and what you can expect if this is what you're thinking about doing. So, quick introduction if you're new to this channel. My name's Zach. I quit my job 3 months ago. Before that, I was doing loads of fitness challenges, motivational content, inspirational content. I've basically just been documenting my journey, and here I am now, after saying I was moving to Thailand, making videos about moving to Thailand, and now I'm back in the UK. I've been having comments, DMs on Twitter, all sorts, asking why I'm back in the UK, why I'm not still in Thailand, what did I learn in Thailand, my experience, etc., etc. What happened in Thailand plays a big part in, of course, why I'm back in the UK, and with this whole aspect of the video, what it's like to open your own business. So, for those of you that are interested in why I'm back from Thailand, and for those of you that have no idea about any of that, and this is your first video, then, well, here you are. The reason I went to Thailand is because, well, the main thing was to take myself outside of my comfort zone, to learn, to experience new things, and to try and make something work, right? However, after about a month of being in Thailand, I realised that there was nothing uncomfortable about it really, apart from it being a different, a culture shock, and kind of like obviously being a lot hotter, and there being, mosquito diseases knocking around. Most of the time, the sun's shining, you're sat on a beach. If you want to work, if you're doing remote work like I was, you can just go to a cafe, you can put your feet up, you can do this, you can do that. So all in all, going to Thailand for me wasn't really uncomfortable at all. So it wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't the experience that I thought it was going to be. I got everything out of it that I went out to get. So I built my relationship with God. I learned so much about myself, about my own life. I had loads of time to reflect on my past mistakes, my future. I figured out exactly what it is I want to do with my future. Hence this video. Thailand played a massive part in me finding that vocation. And I met some amazing people. I've now been invited to other networking events. I'm going to one in Portugal in December. So all in all, it was I don't regret it at all. It just so happens that I'm now back in the UK. But I'm back in the UK with a complete new mindset, a complete tunnel vision idea of what it is I want to do and how I'm going to get there and what it's going to take to get there. And the only difference is I'm now just back where I was. So I just took a really cool kind of 2-3 month vacation, and now I'm back, getting back to work. Because being here for me is a lot more uncomfortable than me being in Thailand. Why? Because if I was in Thailand, I'd be renting my house out, so I wouldn't have to worry about my house, I wouldn't have to worry about paying my bills, and I'd just be in Thailand with my feet up, doing my work as I'm doing here. However, being back here means, and living in my house rather than renting it out, means that I am under a lot more pressure than if I was out there. Got to pay my bills, I've got to pay my mortgage, I've got to pay all my outgoings, I've got to pay for my gym membership. So right now, I'm under a lot more pressure to make my business work. I don't have an income coming in like I used to 3 months ago working full time, right? I don't have that anymore. So now I have to make this business work. I'm under a lot more pressure, and so it's making me a lot more productive. In Thailand, I was getting away with doing maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. Now I'm working 80 hours a week. Right? I'm sometimes working 12, 13, 14, sometimes 15 hours a day, from early morning till late at night, working, because I'm under that pressure. But the good thing about pressure is that's where diamonds are made. So the first reality of starting your own business, you don't have the comfort and the sustainability of getting income every month that you know is coming. especially if you have bills, if you have a mortgage, if you have car finance, if you have a mortgage, whatever it is, right? When you lose that money, you'll realize how much that money actually helped. Even if it's £1,000 a month, £1,500 a month, whatever it is, if you know that that money's coming in, you know that you can pay those bills every single month. Right now, I don't have that luxury. I get paid for how much work I put in. So now it's all down to the work I put in. So that's number one. You lose a lot of comfortability unless you have a lot of money in the bank, right? And that's a bit of a different story. Number two, starting your own business. Like I've just said, this is actually one that I did not realize, and it's really hit me, is that I left a 36.5 hour a week job thinking that if I want to make this business work, I can put 36.5 hours a week in. No, it just does not work like that. Work week does not work like that, right? You have to be putting in double time. You have to be putting in double time. You have to be working from 9, not till 5, but from 9 till 9 every day. And this then leads me onto the third point I want to make. Most of the time when you're working, it can feel like everything you're doing is pointless, right? You can be working for 6 hours. I was literally working for 6 or 7 hours the other day on a landing page, because I don't understand landing pages or websites at all. And I was doing this for 6 or 7 hours and doing this. And at the end of it, I had this really bog standard landing page, and I ended up getting maybe like 10 downloads from this, 10 emails from this landing page. And for me, it's like, well, I've spent 6 hours, 7 hours on this landing page, and it's got me like a handful of emails, you know, so it's almost kind of pointless. And then other times I'll be spending hours and hours and hours on cold outreach, and I'll get no client calls. Or all week I'll be working so hard in the gym and so hard at work and putting in all of this work and these long days, early mornings, long nights, you know, and I'm tired and I feel like nothing is happening, right? Nothing, getting no results, not seeing any benefits, not reaping any rewards. But the truth is that God can see the bigger picture. You can't. And faith is putting in action when in times of uncertainty, in times of when there are no results, in times of when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's still putting in that action, knowing that God can see what's happening underneath the surface, right? Because we can't. Sometimes we're just swimming, you know, and then all we can see is the horizon, all we can see is the waves, all we can see is the rain, but we don't know what's going on underneath, right? We don't know what's going on underneath the surface, and that's what really matters. So you just got to have faith when you're running a business, and it can be very hard to have faith when you've got bills to pay, you're losing money, you're running out of money, you're running out of time, you're not seeing any results. It can be really, really demotivating, right? Really demotivating. It took me 3 months, to be fair, which is quite a quick turnover when you're first starting off, but it took me 3 months to get my first client. 3 months to get my first client. Sometimes it can take months and months and months to get one client or one sale or one email on your email list. Sometimes it can take ages and ages and ages and ages, but you just need to know and trust that if you keep on going, all it's going to do is compound. Eventually, all it's going to do is compound. It's always going to feel like nothing is happening at the start. I've started probably 6 or 7 businesses in my day, right? I had a landscaping business. I've done multiple e-commerce businesses. I did FBA. I've done so many different businesses, and the reason they all, well, not failed, a lot of them made me quite a bit of money, but the reason why I ended up quitting, or they ended up just sizzling out, is because I didn't see the results that I wanted to see straight away. And that is one of the biggest lessons I've learned quitting my job and starting a new business, is that it doesn't just work like that. You don't just go from getting paid this 9 to 5 till all of a sudden a week later you're now making that exact money by yourself, because it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So just have faith and be consistent. And I'd actually say if I was to go back now, I wouldn't, because of the things I've learned, the people I've met, and now I'm on this path and now I'm making money and the business is, it's half working right now, is that I would say don't start your own business and quit your job. Don't quit your job unless you've got proof of concept and your business is actually making some sort of income. For me, I already had one client before I quit my job. So I had one client, I knew these things were kind of working, but I didn't know that that's what I actually really wanted to do. Because if you don't know what my business is, I own a mentoring and retreats company. Hopefully we'll be running retreats later on next year, but right now it's mentoring. So Christian-based life coaching and life mentoring. So I was doing this prior to going to Thailand, but it wasn't Christian based. So I had one client that I was working with from the US, kind of working on mindset, motivation, getting over mental health, getting over those barriers, those mental, physical and spiritual barriers. And then I didn't know whether that was what I really wanted to do, but I had proof of concept that at least I could make money. And I knew I could make money online because I've done it before, because I've started businesses. So I thought I'm going to leave my job anyway because I know I can do it, because I've got those skills, I've gained those skills, and I've got proof of concept. It's happened before, right? So I went to Thailand, and in Thailand, after speaking to all these business owners and listening to these presentations and going to these networking events and just having an awesome time really, and really having time to reflect, it made me realize that mentoring is something I 100% want to do. Like, that is my calling, that is my vocation, that is something that I love to do. And I'm an author as well, published author, and I love to write. So what better to do than mentor people and also write about what I'm teaching them and make videos about it as well, and just focus on that. So that's what I learned in Thailand. And I met this woman called Michelle, and she really helped me pinpoint my niche for the mentoring. And me being a Christian and reading the Bible and really finding Jesus along the way, she was like, well, why don't you incorporate Christianity into it? And I was like, I never even thought of that. So now I'm a Christian life mentor, helping people build their mental, physical, spiritual armor, and go from having pain to using that pain to purpose, to using their struggles to strengths, to using their battles and then changing those battles into breakthroughs. But I use it through Christian teachings, and it's all rooted in Christian beliefs, and that for me is perfect because that's who I am, So I'd also say one of the biggest things I've learned through business is that it's so much more rewarding and fulfilling if you're doing something you actually love and you're doing something that you're genuinely passionate about, because it makes not seeing any results not so bad because you actually love doing it. Whereas before, when I was doing e-com and all these other businesses, I didn't enjoy it because it wasn't me. I was doing it for the sake of it. Money was my motivation. Whereas now, genuinely having an impact on my clients is my main motivation. Obviously, money's great because my house isn't going to pay for itself. But I know that by doing what God wants me to do and what God needs me to do, the money will come. It just will. Right? So that's another thing I've learned, is to, when you're starting your own business, actually pick something that you enjoy doing, something that you want to do, something that you're passionate about, and something that can help people, right? We are here to serve people. We weren't put on this world to serve ourselves, because when we serve ourselves, that's when we're more inclined to drive towards money or fame or materialistic success. But when you're in business genuinely for other people, that's when you get that true fulfillment, right? And money doesn't mean anywhere near as much to me as it used to. I used to be money motivated, bro. I used to love money. Don't get me wrong, still do, it's great, right? But that was my thing. I was just thinking, how can I make more money? How can I do this? How can I do that? Now I'm bothered about making a difference and having an impact. What else? Have you got money to invest in your business idea? Take your current living situation into your account. If you quit your job, will you be able to live? If you quit your job, will you be able to pay for food, pay for your bills, pay for a holiday, pay for your car, pay for fuel, whatever it is, right? You don't have to just quit your job because you think that jobs are for losers. 9-to-5s are great. 9-to-5s are fantastic. They give people comfortability. They give people sustainability. They give people a security. That's what 9-to-5 do. There's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. Some people just want more. Some people just want that freedom. Some people want to just be able to go on holiday when they want, or work whatever times they want in the day, or go to the gym whenever they want. That's what some people want. Some people, I know, they just want to work a 9-to-5, and that's absolutely fine, right? But just know that if that 9-to-5 job isn't for you and you seriously want to have your own business, at least weigh up the pros and cons first. Maybe it's a case of you holding that 9-to-5 job for the next 5 or 6 years, saving up a decent amount of money, and then quitting and risking that money into a business, right? Because money doesn't grow on trees, opportunities don't grow on trees, and take your current living situation into account. Some people are a lot more lucky than others. I'll put my hands up. I definitely am. I saved for a while. I ended up getting a decent job straight out of school. So it's one of those things where, you know, some people aren't as lucky as that. Some people don't have the ability to work. Some people don't have the ability to save. Some people don't have that, you know, secure household like me. So take all of that into consideration, right? Another thing I learned on the topic of opportunities, which I just spoke about, opportunities are everywhere. But depending on who you are, you're either going to see them as opportunities or you're going to see them as obstacles. Anything can be an opportunity and anything can be an obstacle. For example, let's say you're, I don't know, training for a marathon. Let's say you're training for a marathon, right? And you... the only times you can go and train for this marathon is 5:30 in the morning because you have to be at work for 7:30 and you have to get up at 5:30 in order to go for a run, because after work that's when you go to the gym and then you're too tired and you spend time with your family and you eat and you go to bed, so you don't have time, right? Well, a lot of people will see that as an obstacle. People will go, well, I can't train for a marathon because I haven't got the time. Well, someone who's genuinely ambitious and disciplined and has it in them, they'll go, I could probably wake up an extra hour early. I could probably do that. It's difficult, it's hard, you know, nothing easy is worth doing in life, but sometimes that's what it's going to take. And it's up to you to see obstacles or opportunities, and they're everywhere in everyday life. Everyday life. I was at the gym the other day, and I was meant to be going to a book club, right? This book club started at 7:30. I ended up being late out of the sauna because I was speaking to some other guy because he owns like a hotel. So I ended up speaking to him about all of this and I got his number and whatever. So that was a cool thing because I ended up speaking to him. But then I was late to the book club. So when I walked past the book club in order to go out, you know, there was some people in there and I thought, oh, I'm not going to go in because it's late and I don't want to appear rude and I don't want to kind of intrude. But now looking back on it, I should have thought, well, maybe I should have just gone in, apologise for being late, because there might have been someone sat at that book club who may have been able to help me write my third book, or who may have been able to point me in the direction of a publisher or anything. Maybe they would have known something or known somebody who could have helped me get to where I want to be. Or maybe I would have just had an amazing conversation with them and they might have been my next tennis partner for the next 5 years. I don't know. But you'll never know these things unless you put yourself into these positions. So always chase those opportunities and don't be scared to do so, because it can be a nerve-wracking thing, especially when, you know, you've got anxiety or you've got social anxiety or socializing problems and you're scared to talk to people, which is a big thing. I used to be massive on this. I used to have huge anxiety back in school. I'd skip assemblies because there's no chance I'd be going into assemblies. I'd be skipping class because I was too scared to be asked a question in class. And I ended up getting kicked out of school and everything because my anxiety was playing such a big, you know, part in my life. And then all of a sudden, one day I was like, you know what? No, this needs to change. There's nothing I need to be worried about. I need to be in charge of my own life. I need to put myself into positions where I can learn and I can get things from this. And I need to be the main character of my own life. I need to be the main character in my life. Are you the main character in your life right now? Or is the famous person that you follow every day the main character, the one that you're living vicariously through? You have to be the main character in your film, bro. Right? You have to be. And if you're running a business, you have to be the main character. You can't let anybody tell you how it goes. You can't accept advice from someone. Well, you can accept it, but you got to take it with a pinch of salt. But you can't really take advice from someone who isn't where you want to be. If there's someone who has never ever started or owned a business and you talk to them about business, what are they going to tell you that may help you? They might give you some advice like, oh, be patient and this and that, but most of the time they're not really going to give you anything good to say because they're not where you want to be. And that leads me on to my next point. Next point being, when you've got this business idea, when you've got all these ideas going on in your head, because clearly you guys watching this are probably quite ambitious and you want to do something, you know, something bigger and better with your life. Don't go and tell everyone. Don't go and give this energy in you that you hold dear to yourself to people who are just going to go, oh, that's a cool idea. Or, oh, okay, well, yeah, you know, because all that's going to do is wipe your motivation and it's going to make you smile and make your excitedness just be nothing, right? So don't just go and tell anyone. Do the work, but do it behind the scenes. Let the results pay dividends. Let the results do the talking. Don't talk too much. And the people that you do talk to, make sure you're talking to them and make sure not only are they going to keep you accountable, but they're also going to motivate you to carry on with this business. I've had a few businesses in the past and I've told the wrong people about them. And they kind of just like, I don't know, they kind of drain your motivation and 3 or 4 businesses down the line, when you've told them about them and they've all failed, they don't really care anymore because they're like, oh, you're talking to me about all these businesses, but you've never made it happen. You never have been on one for long enough. Now, you know what I mean? You're still working a 9 to 5, this and that. So I'd say if you are going to tell someone about it, make sure that you're ready to commit to this business for a long time, because the biggest way to kill your confidence is by breaking promises, not only to yourself, but to other people. And even if you haven't said to them, I promise I'm starting this business, I promise I'm going to make it work, you telling them about this business, if it doesn't work, which by the way, it might not, it's going to kill your confidence. Whereas if you haven't told them, or you've only told people that are genuinely interested and invested in your idea, then it's going to make you feel like a failure. And another harsh truth of business is that majority of the time, your business is going to fail, bro. It's going to fail. It's not going to do well. It's not going to do well. It might take you a year to make your first £1,000. It might take you a year to get your first 100 subscribers. It took me about 6 months to get my first 100 subscribers on YouTube, right? 6 months. And now, after about a year, I think I'm on like 1,400 subscribers. So within 6 months, I got 100 subscribers. Within the next 6 months, I got well over 1,000. So it's all compound interest, right? And you can't possibly fail if you don't quit. You can't possibly fail. Even if you've not made money for 10 years and your friend finally goes to you, oh, what's happening with that business then? You're still going with that business? You go, yeah, I'm still going with that business. It's not, making loads of money yet, but I'm still going. You can only fail if you quit. So don't quit. Consistency is key. If you run out of money and you have to get a 9 to 5, that doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that you've had to pause it until you get back on your feet and you got that money again. Your business is only going to work as much as you want it to work, right? How badly do you want it? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. How badly do you want this business to work? Are you willing to put in 70, 80, 90 hours a week
on this business? Are you willing to invest your last £100 on this business? Are you willing to not go out clubbing, to quit drinking for a bit, to stop smoking weed, to stop, you know, trying to get with as many girls as possible, and on Tinder and on Hinge and on all these dating apps? Are you willing to give all of that up to make this work? Because if you're not, then well, mate, I don't know what to tell you. Because if you're going to start a business and you're going to quit your 9 to 5 to do it, you have to be committed, which is what most people aren't, because most people don't know what it actually takes to start a business, and it's hard flipping work. I am tired, bro. I am tired. I am so close to burning out. I'm overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I've got this big mouth infection because my wisdom tooth is coming through, and I'm on antibiotics, and I'm still going to the gym, and I'm still doing my client calls. I'm still working every day, still trying to, you know, sort my house out, because currently, right, this is my bedroom, right? Have a look at my bedroom. This is where I'm at right now. There's nothing, mate. There's no bed. It's just a room. My bedroom is a room, right? My office is just boxes. Downstairs, I'm not even going to bother showing you downstairs. In fact, you know what? Let's just quickly go into it, because I want you guys to see what it's like. This is what it looks like having your own business and quitting your 9 to 5 job. This is what it looks like, people. Having your own business and quitting your job looks like having no carpets on the floor. Right? Having your own business looks like having a hole in the ceiling. It looks like having boxes everywhere. It looks like not even being able to sit in your living room. Having your own business and quitting your full-time job looks like your kitchen being full of your bags, of your clothes bagged up. Having a 9 to 5, quitting your 9 to 5 and starting your own business does not look pretty. It doesn't. It's a dark, gloomy road, mate, and it can be lonely as well. That's another thing. This business life is not, it's not social. It's not all fun and games. You don't have loads of people in the office. You don't have, you know, loads of socials. A lot of the time it's heads down with a pencil in your hand, writing notes, writing ideas. Spending hours on Twitter just DMing people, trying to network with people. Spending hours making a YouTube video and then not liking it, so then you have to re-edit that, so then you have to delete it and then re-record the whole thing. This one actually, I think, has been my first ever video where I've not cut anything. This has been one take. I don't think this is going to take any editing, right? But having your own business is stressful. And there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of riding on it. There's a lot going on. Because if this fails, you know what? If this fails, I'm just back to square one. I'll tell you what will happen now. If this fails, which it won't, well, you never know, but I'm hopeful that it won't, I'll just get a 9 to 5 and I'll carry on working on my business on the side whilst having a 9 to 5. Life is all about getting knocked down. If you've never ever been knocked down, you're never going to understand what it's like to get back up. You've got to keep getting knocked down. It's not about how hard you get knocked down, no, it's about how you get up. Now I'm getting all motivational and soppy and inspirational, mate. But that is literally what it is, right? Having your own business is not caring about other people's opinions. It's about knowing what you want and going and getting it and putting it all into it and not listening to the outside world, not listening to other people's opinions, not seeking for other people's validations, not seeking short-term pleasures, not, going out clubbing, drinking, doing all this, doing all that. It's about being disciplined. It's about being consistent. It's about knowing how to say no, but about knowing how to say yes in the right places. It's about finding it's about finding opportunities, not obstacles. It's about understanding that you're not going to see results straight away. It's about understanding that from A to B is not a straight line. And it's about understanding that having your own business is hard flipping work. That has been the video for today. This has been Zach with a K. If you're new to this channel, this is just me documenting my journey. And here I currently am right now, back from Thailand, back in the UK, back in a half house, really trying to make this business work. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bow.